Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I was able to put the volume down. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we talking about today? NBA 2K. I mean, in this case, it's 2K24. This applies to any of the 2K games in the past, like, sorry, 2K, the past 10 years, right? Ever since they started getting into microtransactions heavily. Um, like, well, what is the issue here? How can you play this game, quote unquote, free to play without a major grind? It's impossible. It's a 2K game, right? Let me introduce you, my friend, to two modes that I prefer to play in 2K without spending a dime, besides, the cost of entry, right? I usually get these games on sale by the end of the year for $10 to $20. Sometimes it goes for free on PS Plus. Thank you, PS Plus. Anyway, the the game modes I recommend the game modes I recommend you stay away from are my career and my team because they will rob you either of your time or your money. You're either grinding VC or buying it. Like that's just or MT points or whatever it is in the in my team. I know they update it, they make it interesting. They try and make it interesting for you to grind. I have a friend who grinds this every day, my team. So if that's your cup of tea, so be it. Enjoy. But it is not mine. I do not enjoy grinding in my team. I don't enjoy, feeling like I have to spend money to enjoy this game. So what I do prefer, I guess you could play the moments, like whatever the title character is in your 2K game. You could play their particular mode. Like there's no money associated or grind, I believe, associated with that. It's just fun, right? But the two modes I do recommend are my NBA eras, which is like the franchise, or however they used to call it back in the day, where you just play with one NBA team, or however many you want, right? And you see how far they get in the season, playoffs, all that. Same thing with the WNBA. I recommend the my WNBA. I'll show you how I set up that team because WNBA is hot right now with the WNBA finals. But let me just show you the eras because I think they actually did that right in this game. So if you go into my NBA, you select a new slot. Um, you could choose an era to play in. And they have all of their old 2K rosters. Some of the players on the rosters are going to be, these fake players with low stats, but I'd say like 8 out of the 11 players they have on a roster are legitimately, the players that were on these rosters. So if you're into these kind of leagues and teams, I highly recommend this. I mean, what I did was I went into the LeBron James era and I created the Portland Trail, or I picked the Portland Trailblazers because Brandon Roy is my favorite character. So I think this is a fun way to play, and I will show you the setup. Just give me a second. Um, my recommended setup, basically. If I can get away from the screen, okay. So let's go to here, my WNBA. So I've been playing this recently, and the way I recommend you set it up, right? So you go to new, right? And you have these various options. So what I recommend is you could change this when you get into the game, but just turn off the financial restrictions. You don't need those. Role playing elements, I mean, in my opinion, doesn't really add anything, so I recommend you just take it off. Um, Salary cap, I think you should leave it just in case the CPU does anything crazy. So I just leave it as it is. I set it to offline. I don't automate anything because I do not trust the computer. I don't. There's no ranked in this. Custom roster, I do say yes because their rosters are terrible. Or you could do a fantasy draft, one or the other, right? So you advance from here, and they give you an option on which roster you want to use. And either you go for the injury-free roster or you go for a user-created roster. And it's always like hit or miss on finding the right roster. It may take you like one or two attempts to find the correct roster. But I believe this person, Demo 420, thanks to you. I believe he updated. He actually does update these rosters at least for the WNBA. So shout out to him. So if you pick um, this roster, because this is for 2K25. This is for this year, right? So you pick this, and he also has the draft roster as well, I believe. And then you pick a team, right? Let's just say we go with the Aces. Um, they're the team that won last year, right? With Aja Wilson and Kelsey Plum and all that. Um, anyway, you advance, and then they'll give you an option on the draft class. I recommend you load the draft class as well. Um, and then it doesn't always pop up immediately, so I just press R2 onto and then press L2, and it'll get you to the top of the page. And yeah, I guess his name isn't really here, but we're gonna go with this Chevrolet 98 at least, and then we'll just see what happens, right? For so 2025. Um, wait, that's wrong. We're in the 2024 draft, right? So let's click this. Let's see how the roster, I mean the scouting looks. Yeah, this is correct, right? Caitlin Clark and Cameron Brink were drafted this year. So, last year, right? And then you would get to 2025, and then you could draft the players from 2025, right? So, yeah, this is what I recommend. And then okay, when you're playing the game, right? 2K, besides the grind and the microtransactions, 2K is known for its artificial difficulty, what I like to call cheese. Um, so if you go somewhere here, difficulty, right? So I used to I used to move these sliders like up and down, like I used to like mess with these, but um, I don't do that anymore. What I do is I just leave it at All Star. That's like the middle. Was it rookie, semi pro, pro, All Star, Superstar, Hall of Fame? Anyway, whatever. It's two down from the top, right? This is a bearable difficulty for me after playing for years and years. I used to play at Superstar, but even like the cheese in Superstar is probably a little too much for me to handle. Like, you're just trying to play casually, you're trying to have fun, right, with the game. I do not recommend Hall of Fame. The computer would cheese the heck out of you. Like, what do I mean by cheese? So if the computer wants to score, they will score, no matter what you do. Like, if you have a lead on them, they will catch up to you. They will make you miss shots. They will make you miss rebounds. You know, defense. It doesn't matter. The computer will literally cheat to beat you. And I mean that's in all difficulties, but it's more blatant the higher you go. So please do not stress yourself out by playing Hall of Fame. Maybe if you're good at the game, go ahead play Superstar. But what I do is I just chill in All Star, and I have a good time. The other problem is um, the roster, right? So a character like, geez, a player like AJ Wilson, right? Um, we could take a look at her. So she's 98 overall, A plus, almost across the board. Besides like two of these items, what I recommend, I mean, you guys can hate me in the comments if you want, But I'm telling you, this is probably the best way to play if you're trying to have fun, right? So you go into edit the player. Yes, we're gonna edit the players. So, all right, listen. Let me justify it. If you were playing my career or my team, right? You'd be upgrading your players through VC or through money or through cards or whatever it is. Anyway, so this is just a faster way to do it, so you don't have to grind for it. That's the whole point. I'm trying to avoid the grind, right? Um, because I'm just trying to chill and play the game. So what I don't recommend is you just boost everything to 99999, and make it like too easy. Here's what I recommend changing. So you go into the vitals, you go down here, the peak starting age. I mean, if they're young, I mean, I think she's 26 already, but just as a general case, put them down at the lowest age to start their peak, and their peak at 41. Listen, I'm trying to help you. Just follow along, please. The potential is at 99, which is perfect. You want the potential at 99. None of this really matters. And none of this really matters because you can just trade for whoever you want with a trick I'll show you in a second. It's not really a trick, but yeah, the rest of this doesn't matter. So you go back. There's nothing to change here. The next part you'll go to is attributes. Now, the way I recommend editing these characters is just kind of make them better at what they're already at. So driving layup 90, I'm telling you, there's still a potential for a big like her to miss. So bump this up to 99. Post fade, bump this up a little bit. Post hook looks good. This looks good, good, good. Ball handling, I'd actually bump up to 76, just in case the computer tries to cheese you. This looks good. All right. Dunking in WNBA players. I know WNBA players don't really dunk like that, but if you want to have fun in this game, I'm telling you, bump it up. So standing dunk for like a big, you'd like you'd want to at like low 70s or so, maybe like 75, and then driving dunk like 85 plus for sure. Um, Hands 99 is good. Defense, that's good. This is good enough. Lateral quickness. All right. So, the CPU cheeses like crazy, and the biggest issues most of these players have is they're slow and they cannot keep up with the CPU. So I recommend bumping up lateral quickness, speed with the ball, like just bump, play with it, see how it works in the game. Always bump up strength 99 on your bigs. What's funny is hustle doesn't even matter. In this game, I'm telling you, in 2K games, hustle doesn't even matter because the CPU will hustle to any ball on the floor or rebound or whatever faster than you ever will be able to do. You will never win a 50-50 against the computer. I'm telling you that right now. At least in higher difficulties. You will not. Anyway, the durability doesn't matter because I will turn injuries off. And these are good. The other thing is to turn intangibles off. Intangibles is basically a way for the game to inflate your overall. I don't know why they do it. Maybe just, they need to make AJ Wilson higher than Kelsey Plum or whatever it is. So it's just all fake. So just turn it down. And then from there, you leave tendencies alone. Hot zones is up to you. Signature, I would actually recommend you modify depending on the player. Like some of these I mean, like for some of these players that you already know how their shot works, I guess you shouldn't change it too much. I mean, maybe watch some games of her and how she shoots. But like some of these shots are just terrible, man, especially on these WNBA players. Like I don't know how you're supposed to score with these players with these shot releases. So maybe take a look at this, depending on the player and the free throw style. Just take a look, see if you want to modify that. You know, Layup package is up to you, but definitely add some dunk packages because you're going to be dunking with these WNBA players. Um, yeah, this changing these signatures is up to you. But yeah, I don't think any of this really affects the game too much. But the jump shot definitely does. So take a look into that. Contract doesn't matter. Badges do matter. So, depending on the player, you want like some badges that really give you an advantage. Her badges are already pretty good, but what I always recommend, like on a big, right, is like chase down artist on like Hall of Fame or gold. And this is the bigs, right? I'll do a guard next. Um, and I mean these are all pretty good. Um, oh, so if you're in the post, right? They changed it every year, but basically you want like one of these driving skills. I don't know which one it is. I think it's blow by. I could be wrong. They change the names of these every year. It used to be like first step or like quick step. I don't know what they call it anymore. But basically, out of the out of the post, she should be able to drive by her guy, right? To because she's a post player. And then shooting, just depends on the player, but limitless range is good. Um, they'll just make you miss shots unless you're like right on the line, right? Deadeye is always good if you're a shooter, right? Backed out Punisher is great. In the inside scoring, drop stepper, the finishing ones, the giant slayer, the spin. I don't know about posterizer, but like see what you like. Mess around with it. I'm not an expert on these badges. All right. And then from there, you just go to the next character, keep the changes, and let's do a guard. Kelsey Plum. So same thing. The peak starting, just bump it out. Peak ending, bring out potential up. Then attributes, like I said, if he's gonna be doing layups, like bump it up to 99. Like none of these matter for a guard. So just put the close shot up. Mid range, 3 point. That's pretty good. Ball handling, why is a point guard only at 90? Anyway, pass accuracy, like really, a point guard or a shooting guard, really? Pass IQ, really? Like, come on. And dunking for guards, so I tend to put it like in the 50s for standing, right? And then for driving, if you want them to dunk, like 71, 72. If you want them to dunk like once in a blue moon, like Steph Curry, then like in the 60s, like 69 or so. Um, Hands are always good. As you can see, they really like mess with these player stats. Perimeter defense, you really want 85. And for the guards, you really want their steal above 75. Otherwise, they're kind of useless on defense, in my opinion. You need the lateral quickness up, like for guards, like 85 plus. Speed, 85 plus. Like, and the strength really does matter. So, depending on what you want to do, like, I would aim for like 75 plus, depending on the player. I know it's a guard, but like, it helps with everything, like driving, defense, you know, finishing, um, rebounds. Like, it helps with everything. So I recommend you bump up your strength, depending on the character. Like I said, none of these matter because I'll be changing it. Um, these are okay. Intangibles, as I said, bring it down. And then, like I said, take a look at their signatures. She has her own, so I guess it's fine. But depending on the character, if they don't have their own name as a jump shooting signature, you should take a look at it and edit it. Um, the badges, all I'd really say is for guards, Like take a look at like Acrobat, um, the finishing ones, Giant Slayer, like Slithery, they already have gold there. The shooting ones, right? This sure already has a few of those. Ankle breaker for sure. You want that to trigger. Handles for days, hyperdrive, killer combos, like they really like limit, the amount of badges you get. So it's not like, grinding will do much in this game. So go nuts, you know? Defense, you really want to go for ankle braces, clamps, glove, interceptor if you're good at that, off ball pass, fast feet, and none of these are really important. Maybe a rebound chaser if your player is known for getting those, and that's about it for the player, right? So AJ Wilson got bumped from 96 to 97. And Kelsey Plum, I don't know what she started at, but she's at 91. Not bad, right? Then you play, you test it out, and you see, what works for you. So that's for the characters. In terms of the settings, like the game settings, I recommend. Let's go here. So 5 minutes is fine in my opinion, um, because if you're playing casual, you don't want to play this for 12 minutes, but that's up to you. I leave this all as is. You don't want to automate it, in my opinion. Um, I just turn staff abilities off. Progressive fatigue, that's your option, because players over the course of a season get tired. That's up to you. Team chemistry definitely leave off, because why do you need this added issue? It's kind of like if they don't get enough minutes or something, they cause an issue on the team. It's like, why would you want to deal with that? Right? Rule changes I always put off. I don't want to deal with that. This is like these action things are kind of pointless. I don't even know what these do, to be honest. So I just turned it off. I turn injuries off because I don't want to deal with it. Leave these as is. I leave these as is. Tick. Yeah, this page I leave as is. All right. So then from here, I go to tuning. Right. So trade logic, you leave on. You kind of want an experience of where, the other owner from the other team says, no, I don't want your trade. But you turn off the restrictions, right? So you turn it off, turn it off. Financial trade rules. I think you should keep this on, just so you're not doing like completely like crazy trades. Trade override. See, this is where it is. This is why I said you can keep any player you want. All you got to do is turn trade override on, and you can keep any players that you want. You can keep these CPU trade offers. I turn it off because I don't want to deal with that. You could turn the CPU between to CPU trades on if you want. And then I just turn the trade frequency down a lot because I don't want them to change the teams too much. Um, I leave these as is. Um, and negotiated contracts, I leave the salary cap on. I just kind of bump it. I just kind of bump it a bit. Um, just because I will be having a lot of good players on my team. And then, all right, so what do I do beyond here? Beyond here, I hunt for characters that I want. Because, this is kind of like my team, right? So, if you don't like this kind of playing, sorry, but this is the way that I play. So basically, I put up any of the trash on this team. Sorry to anyone that likes these players, but, put up some trash and get some gold. I mean, obviously, don't totally just put an all-star team, onto your roster. But if you're hunting for some players, like yeah, I would like the challenge of facing the full power Liberty. So I'm gonna leave them as is. I'm not gonna mess with them. But maybe I'll snipe a Skylar Diggins Smith. You know, if I think this Mercury team is aging. But maybe I want to play against them too, so I don't want to mess with their roster. So maybe I go for Elena Delle Donne or a Christy Tal. Oh, wait, she's not even that high. A Natasha Cloud, right? Or I don't even know what this team is. The Chicago Sky, sorry. Maybe I go for Kelly Copper. Um, maybe I just kind of just snipe players that I like, and then I build out off of the draft because, you know, in the draft I would definitely steal Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, maybe Elia Edwards. I think there may be a better roster you could take from because I don't think these pictures are doing these characters justice. Maybe like an Angel Reese, you know? But yeah, maybe, there's another player who did a better roster. But yeah, that's generally how I play. I mean, if you want to have fun with this game, you got to um, make some modifications, And then when you get in the game, right? Offensive settings, right? Um, series, I really like, I believe it's called Ear Tug. We'll try it on the game. Ear Tug, and then the settings. So coach settings. I say adaptive coaching engine. I I turn it I turn it off. Timeouts, auto. Manual. Offensive play vision, you put it for all plays. So you say light and full for the display. Show all play messages. Leave the series on do not repeat. And the series order as dynamic. Okay? Let's get into the game.
WNBA on 2K Sports. Welcome in, everybody. Moments away, it'll be the Las Vegas Aces going up against the Seattle Storm. This is Blake Zuniga alongside Tim Swartz and Brian Benefitemi, and we're excited for some 2K hoops. And looking into the crystal ball.
So let's see if I can show you why I bumped up Kelsey Plum and, oh my gosh, that's probably going on.
Really?
Maybe not.
They can only stop themselves.
Now the Aces with it.
All right, let's see if this is the play that I like.
Now
It's not showing the lines.
Pass to Plum.
Oh, there it is. All right, this is the play that I like.
Wilson sets a screen. 5 to shoot. And the layup is good after a
Say ear tug.
pass.
Nice
Run ear tug, I'm telling you.
Willing to get her teammates involved.
Anyway.
That's leadership right there.
Yeah, that's really it for this video. I'm just gonna try and get some highlights for my clips. But this is the way I like to enjoy playing 2K without spending any money. Without. Okay.
It's hauled in by the Aces.
Let me try and get
Give up that kind of look off.
Asia Wilson to
They're
dunk.
very lucky they didn't get burned.
This is just how I like to play this game.
By Parker.
So
Here's Wilson.
no dunk.
With the layup.
Oh,
She's a
that was
very
terrible.
strong finisher, guys. I'm surprised that she wasn't able to power that through the defense.
You love her presence on this
And
team.
the announcers are
It has a
terrible
calming
in
effect
the
to
women's
them.
games, by the way.
Fallback option whenever they need one.
Now here's Plum.
Ooh,
Pass to
this might be
Parker.
a.
That drops, and it comes off an assist from Kelsey Plum.
A potent
Oh,
competitor
she's
inside
the
paint.
center. Whoops.
You can usually
All
count
right,
on
let's go for
Parker
another
to produce
attempt.
inside.
Why is this
And here's
guard so
McElroy.
big? Anyway,
Outside Whitcomb. Out to Lloyd. Shoots the three.
that's probably it.
Gets a three-pointer to fall.
That was a mistake by
That
me.
type of D, it's just not going to cut it. They got to get
She's-
a hand in her face.
All right,
Too good of a
let's
shooter.
go. See if I can get this highlight.
Here's Wilson. She's now
No.
1 for 2 with
But she
that.
finished.
I'd say you're fooling yourself if you think Wilson's afraid of a little contact, because she'll go up
Anyway,
against anybody.
I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.
Now here's what
Bye.
comes. Great defending.